involved with EDA was one day, like it was Club Fest 2017, like my third day in Canada probably.
No way.
So it's cold for me, not for you guys. Shaw sitting there alone on a table with the EDA banner, like just one EDA banner, and Shaw sitting there alone in a suit. I'm like, oh, entrepreneurship, I like it, I should talk to him. 1 week later, I get a call back. Hi, so this is Shazib from EDA. I heard you're interested, so I just have a couple of questions. And I'm freaking out. I'm like 5th day, like 7th day in Canada. This guy's asking me questions. I don't even know like the.
You asked a vision?
I'm like, what's your vision for the club?
No
I'm like,
way.
who are you?
Hang up.
So I joined EDA, like I start volunteering, like I'm like putting like 20 hours a week because I have nothing else to do. Then I get my midterms, I stop volunteering, then Shaw's like, hi. We noticed that you volunteered a lot, but like you aren't filling in the
Doodle.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just got exams and got to recruitment 2018. I'm like, should I? Like, I didn't even think of applying. I'm like, should I apply? Should I not apply? Should I apply? Should I not apply? I come to the meeting, okay, let's just like I'd never attended a single meeting as a volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, I should just come to the meeting. I come to the meeting, I start talking to these guys. I get some ideas, I say them out aloud. Shaw really likes me. I was like, oh, I like his ideas. I'm like, oh, this guy likes me, I should just apply. I apply, I get the position, go to India.
Yo, this is so
And then
gross.
you get 3 warnings.
No, let him do it, bro. No, why you staying in shy, bro?
So,
Not the president anymore.
Yeah.
So one thing I take up email from Shazib, Suhail and Zara Kassim. I'm like, work. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll do it. I say something, I'm like, okay. So like, okay, then I do something rough again, send it to you guys. You guys know, no, this is shit, do it again. I'm like, okay, I ignored these guys for the next 2 months. After, okay, then cut 3. I come back, Zara. Me and Shaw were wondering to meet with you. What would be a good time? I'm like, oh, I gotta put in some work now. I start tabling like crazy. And like every time I table, I'm like, okay, Shaw's not tabling, Zara's not tabling, I can table. So they don't get to talk to me. He was in a table and then they're like, oh, he's good now. So then I start meeting them again.
You're so strategic, bro. I would never notice this. But it
So,
fucking works.
honestly, like before J2E, I did not realize how much I like my journey towards J2E like got me like very involved with EDA, and I realized that how much this means to me. Like before that, I did not realize how much this means to me. It was just a stupid student club, like honestly.
Yeah.
But like the journey to entrepreneurship made me realize how much like this means to me and how much I really want to pursue this. So yeah, let's start.
Whoa! Solid intro. Yo, you guys got some competition.
Oh, he already. Oh, okay, never mind.
So basically, what I want to show you is that I know I'm ready to do the next step, like, and that like I want to assure you guys that this is not in haste. Like, I've really thought about it, and I'm sure I can. Like, that's why I volunteered for a whole year. That's why like I stayed as an associate for so long, because now like I truly feel I'm prepared. So these are like roughly the scopes of improvement. Like I feel the roles are not very well defined. Like everybody knows what to do, but it's not in the book. So I think once it would be in the book, everyone would realize that how important it is. There's a very high volunteer turnover. Like in my 2 years at EDA now, like I've seen like 5 teams turnover, especially volunteers. Like it's very important, like because we're wasting our time and our resources in training the volunteers. So it is very necessary that we reduce the turnover. Like, and I also feel that like now we are at a position we can start going to other universities. So we shouldn't be limited to YorkU. Everybody, it's no secret that we like plan it last minute. And imagine, guys, if we can like raise like $1,000 in revenue with 3 weeks of planning, how much can we like accounting just multiply 4 months of planning? And like as like all of you mentioned, like we don't provide hands-on assistance, but I really want, like I differ with Khalid and Nabil over here, like what, like I really want to like provide hands-on entrepreneurship, like hands-on like assistance to entrepreneurs, but I don't want to see us deviating from our mission. and our vision. That is why I feel like it is very necessary to provide hands-on entrepreneurship, but don't forget like what is EDA at its roots. So these are the next step plans: clearly define department roles and strengthen vice presidents. Because what I have noticed is like Shaw, Zara, and Bilal, like, okay, I'm just counting you as a co-president because you do most of like you do a lot of work. So like you guys do everything, and I think like one of the issues is like the vice presidents, they do not realize that they're vice. Like even me as a vice president, I'm doing all that stuff I used to do as an associate. Like I have no realization that now I am a vice president, so I have the additional responsibility.
Yeah.
So I want to strengthen the vice presidents so they feel like they have like the vice president should have like as much burden as Zara and Bilal and Shaw have right now. Systematically spread to EDA across other campuses. I do not want to like rush into it. I want like very systematically, piece by piece, like just hire one person each campus, then maybe talk to clubs. Like I don't want like us to like, because I've done this before, that I've rushed it, like I've literally rushed into something and I've like started it at a very high level in the first phase, that it all collapsed. So I want to like go very systematically about it. Plan over the summer. I want to plan everything over the summer. 4 months, if I become president, you're not having a good summer, sorry. Kill it in the summer.
Down.
Like also like emphasize maintaining like long lasting relationships with volunteers and provide hands-on systems, obviously. So validation. So that is 2 big thumbs up for me, like we both agree.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Then we have boy Kawasaki telling me that I'm an excellent planner. We have like Doug Trump telling me that we will make media great again. And that's an actual comment by King Radiance of Prestige. You can check my Instagram, you'll find it somewhere.
Boy Kawasaki.
Carving gates.
So that will be a roadmap for next year. Summer we're going to kill it. We're going to like plan every event one by one in the summer. Like we will have the dates, we will have the rooms, we will have the speakers, we will have the sponsorships, and we will have everything in one pen drive just ready to go. So every beginning of the month you like plug in that pen drive, download that folder, print it, you like tell everyone the responsibilities and they're ready to go. September 2019 we start executing the plans in the summer, and I don't know like what we thought about January 2019. We're again just executing what we planned in the summer. It's just executing, of course. The competitive analysis.
Yo, sorry guys, my woe.
Take the learn, man. Take the learn.
Take the learn. Most funny.
That would be easy over the next 10 years. I didn't care about changing the numbers, sorry, but like, because like as we will grow over other campuses, like our revenues will multiply and of course over 10%.
I got her, man. It's happy. I like it. Approved.
And you see that like I'm sure you're wondering like in the 5th or 6th place, like why is there an extra increase in cost?
Yeah.
Because that is our second phase where we will like put it across like Toronto. So obviously there'll be cost, like okay, like we'll be booking rooms at Thompson to hold interviews and stuff. That's where the increase in cost.
Okay.
Also like something I would like mentioning, like for me it's like quality over quantity, but yes I want quantity too. So
Nice.
like this is something I've like emphasized previous events also. Like I'm so glad we did not do this, but next year we're not even discussing getting pizza at our events.
Yeah, I
Because
love
EDM
that.
means quality.
Exactly.
We would be our mentors, like if they
Gang, gang.
Who's in the middle?
Look at the car too. Look at this Bentley. Money man.
Let's eat your money.
Let's watch it the month's going.
Small, that's
My
money.
project
That's where.
We can look that.
So like I don't know all the answers, guys. I don't know all the questions. I don't have all the answers. Like, but I want to work with all of you to get to them because together we can.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Questions? If there are any.
Okay, go questions.
Where do I vote?
Live.
Okay, it's not really a question, it's just a comment. I love how you said we're gonna plan every single thing out in the summer and only execute during the semester. Because like one of the main problems that these three mentioned was that everybody like has ideas, but during the semester there's GPAs, part-time jobs.
Yes.
No one can really do anything. So in the summer, you're not really doing so much. So maybe like people have like one more course or like a job, like nothing else, right?
Yeah.
So you can still like plan everything out in the semester. You can execute it, and you can execute it well if it's already planned. So that
100%.
Another reason I want to plan in the summer is because like Shaw and Bilal like would be here in the
yeah,
summer.
exactly. We
hopefully.
get everything done. We can ask them to.
And then also, you know how you said like people have like courses and jobs, so we can
Yeah.
have like, so what if something happens, like what's like the backup plan
Yeah.
to
Risk assessment.
Yeah.
We can find out what happens if like, let's say all you guys just decide to drop out. Like what's gonna happen? Like like
Yeah.
what do we do
We're
then?
coming back.
Because then, you know what I mean?
Leave it
Yeah.
No, I really like that idea. I feel like that's so important because that way, like, for example, you have Shulik, right? Like, you don't have to worry because main thing you have to do is execute. That's what, or like same thing with everybody else. You guys have part-time job. We kind of addressed it in when you guys were doing it too, where like this is the best way to make sure. But that's up to you now. To how are you gonna enforce this? That's
During
my
the
question.
summer, right?
During
Okay,
the
yeah,
summer.
another question.
Because wait, just a follow-up question to that is because in the summer, yeah, it's easy to say that, oh, if I'm president, like, everyone's going to do it, right? But in the summer, what happens is exactly what happened when 2 years ago, when you just flew to India, right? So, I'm putting you on the spot, but, like, it's actually something you need to think about, because some people...
here in the summer.
You put your hands up.
Are you here?
I'm here.
You're here? Oh.
Okay, well, you have much better situation
Yeah,
than we were
like
in.
last summer,
Something
even I
I
was
thought
over
over,
here,
like,
right?
this is what I thought, like how many people I had, and I knew like I have a good enough team in the summer.
Yeah.
Plus, we're just we're not doing anything in the summer except just planning, so we wouldn't need those many people.
Okay.
Like, this is what I feel. Like a few good heads would be enough to just plan because like nobody has to run to printing, nobody has to run to tabling. Like, that is why like we're just planning, we're not doing any work.
That's true, that's
We're just like getting a pen drive and like making 4 folders, 4 events.
Because
and,
yo, like this
printing
is
materials, graphics
so
done.
blessed for
Yeah.
everybody, especially that graphics team sitting right
Yeah,
there.
poor
Because
graphics
yo,
team.
I feel I like shout you guys give it a round of
Yeah.
applause.
5 minutes. Make a poster. Yeah, 5
You
minutes.
guys like you know you mentioned Pranav, you mentioned like
Picasso.
You know, like there's a VPs like Ahmed was like one of those VPs. Like he made sure he held it down for the whole year, all the graphics, everything like that. Whether it was delegating, whether it's taking care of it himself, but like the last minute things, those memes, that there's a truth behind them.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times we had to tell him shit to do last
He did
minute,
the PowerPoint for launch weekend like
an
2
hour
minutes
before.
before.
That was a true meme. That was
Yeah.
based off a true story.
Right.
They're
PTSD. Go ahead.
Follow up question to that is like there's some executives or some departments that do have stuff to do to plan for the winter. I mean for the school year. So for example, last year what we noticed is that marketing was just sitting on their asses, like not doing anything. It's like just saying because like there was nothing for them to do. There was no. Our main goal for marketing was that look, you're gonna go and market the events and increase our turnouts and stuff like that. So what are they gonna do for 4 months in the
They
summer?
don't plan, like everyone has to plan, like they're making a list of all the posts they want to send out in the summer.
Okay.
They are like
Write out
They-
captions.
Oh, so
Yeah,
marketing
right.
can also help with
You're
like
right.
that.
that takes time.
It takes time. Yeah.
I think social
What I
media
believe
really
throughout the
need
summer, what
marketing.
we could do is basically graphics and marketing could work together
Yeah.
throughout the whole summer and then pre-meditate all the campaigns we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then the posters, the events, the banners, the new business cards, and
Oh, the
maybe-
content, like
Just
we
the
have
content.
we use
Yeah.
Planoli, and we make it so like the whole year's freaking posts are
Yeah.
done. Like the only and we just leave some extra spaces
For,
for like
like, new
launch
logos.
you, like
Yeah.
launch you being like, oh, can you
We have an
promote
event.
this
Like
for us?
before launch weekend, we were doing like videos and stuff. This can all be done over the summer too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
videos.
Also, if you have to like pay for that thing, like the sponsorship team can like include it in the budget, so it's automatic.
And like one big thing in graphics is like promoting entrepreneurs. So like having like entrepreneurs of your cube,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So it's just,
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
having graphics like that. I've seen. If you showed me,
Yeah.
APA has it, and then there's other people who have the same thing.
Yeah, we should definitely rep our.
Like another thing I really want to do is like I even talked to like Nufuz at the event. Like I want to start doing weekly podcasts, like weekly
it.
EDA podcasts.
Or even
Exactly.
buy
Yeah.
Yeah,
coffee or something.
exactly.
Even like
Oh,
a blog.
that's
Yo,
what I
like,
really
I feel like
like.
marketing should do that in the summer because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so one of the biggest
Right.
issues we had before was we only had like 15 partners, right?
Oh, sorry.
We had like 300 members when I joined. We're at like 2,000 now. We were at like 600 followers. We're at 2,000. And the biggest thing is the connections. Like when we were reaching out to networking partners, we have like 50, almost 50 plus of different huge companies, and everybody loves being on a podcast. Like if I asked you guys, you guys want to be on a sick podcast? What do you guys?
Sure.
Of course. Like, I'm down to talk for like 20 minutes and just
Yeah,
like
that's sick.
get clout. Like why not? So 100% over the summer.
And that looks so good on your resume too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a podcast in summer.
2,200.
Self-branding for
Just
EDM
2,200
member.
followers on Instagram.
22?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, this is a side question, but I have to ask marketing after.
Live does not
Yeah,
get
Well,
it.
sorry. Go on.
Okay, so not a okay, yeah, question. So like you know how like Shah just went like you like shout out to the graphics team. How are you planning on like having recognition within the team? Recognition for like hard work or like last minute
So
things.
like what I want to emphasize on is that I am doing nothing. I'm just sitting here holding the meetings. That, like okay, like I'm doing work, but so I'm emphasizing. So I am only recognizing a department. This week, this department did great. Then it is upon the vice president on whom he does want, like he or she
True.
chooses like on whom to put the credit on. Like I am just a bridge between different departments.
I have a question. So what is that VP's not doing like his
Yeah.
work and the associate is doing more work?
Switch.
Switch or
What about the contracts? What
The
about
contracts, maybe we should enforce the contracts again. It was literally like a piece of paper that looked pretty like
Yeah.
bootleg.
Well, you can say like, yeah, if we see you not doing work as much as the associate will take your place.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's on the discretion of the president that we can change your position anytime you feel like.
Yeah, and like maybe mention the 3 warnings in there.
Yeah.
It is mentioned there, but
Yeah.
the whole switch thing isn't. So.
that's gonna hurt.
Oh, you guys are the presidents.
That's gonna hurt people's
Decide.
feelings, but whatever.
It does not
Yeah,
matter.
it's-
Just
Yo,
don't
no,
matter.
now because everyone knows that we will switch, they will put in the work.
Yeah.
If they don't
Exactly.
switch,
True,
like,
Exactly.
Yeah, and maybe the associates will try harder to try to get the VP
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, this is
And if there's
What are you trying to do?
and if there's two
Need the
associates, they'll like work harder to be like the VP because
Yeah,
there's only
the-
one VP.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like you said, quality over quantity. Do you think like EDA should consider doing like lesser events but bigger and better?
Oh, I think we're all like the amount of events we did this year was perfect, like 4 events.
Or do you
perfect.
think it should be like a journey to entrepreneurship should be like big and like launch week should be big and then there should be workshops in the middle?
Well, yeah, like that's what we
Yeah.
did, right? JDE
Yeah.
was the big one for semester 1.
But
and
like we
then
used to
finance.
have to like plan out for like all of the other like workshops were also events.
Yeah.
Like we used to
So
have like
how would you make
food,
it smaller? Like, what do you mean by smaller?
like
no
rather
food?
than like no food, like 2 hours, like book like a room like this.
Like this.
I mean, like book a room. Don't like, and then it will be like it won't be a panel. It'll just be like. what
I
you
feel
have
like
done.
I feel like why you're calling it an event is because, and why we call it an event is because last minute planning. You nailed
Yeah.
that problem on like the freaking head. Like last minute planning is what we do. Mefuz like knew like most of our partners know that we do this shit last
Mine
minute.
and you, she's like, yeah, I know. You guys-
Everybody knows. Like, oh, we know. Like Mefuz came to me before leaving from the panel day from the marketing, and he's like, honestly, man, like, for the fact that you guys did all this shit last minute is unreal. And then he even gave us a shout out saying that at launch weekend, saying that, man, I went to this guy's event like 3 weeks ago,
panel, yeah.
and like they had nothing ready, and now look at this. So imagine what we can do if we actually plan in this.
I used to think you guys did everything this summer anyway.
We did, bro. I don't know what happened.
We didn't have any
So,
partners,
like, I thought
yeah.
this
So we're
happened
gonna
before.
fix that. This.
Yeah.
Yo, team turnover. Half of the team wasn't here this summer.
Yeah, the turnover was huge.
Turnovers.
And like I said,
Like,
around
90
still,
minutes.
We need to have those like 4 events, J2E, marketing. Like yes, we could have cut off legal and we cut off legal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
we
we
cut
still
off
need-
the product cycle event
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but I still think that we need these 4 events.
Financial was sick and marketing were sick. Like
But-
those were sick events. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
guys
because
can't
we
say
get
no.
financial sponsors like
we
the
could literally
banks.
do
I'm saying with
personal
marketing.
branding like workshops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to
Networking
grow them, bro?
workshops.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
The
Am
thing
I allowed
is that
to
with
grow?
the membership list we have right now and with the people looking out of for our events we have right now, we cannot make anything smaller. Everything we do from now on, like it has to be minimum 60 people. We cannot if we do an event in this room, like it's not worth
No,
it.
that's
And
not
then
what I meant.
also
like,
our attendees, like last year we had 67 people attend, and this year we have 77 people attend.
Yeah, the average attendance
Average.
went up.
Average attendance.
Average.
Yeah.
Like what we
That's
need
high.
to do now is we need to I agree we need to have smaller things like this, but we have a big enough team to handle both the 4 main events and these things
So Khalid, you said you could definitely roast. What's your question? Ask.
It's more of a like an abstract one though.
Yeah.
So as a co-president, I feel like there's a vision that you're supposed to implement to EDA to grow it or add to it. That's to me that's the difference between like a VP and a president. Like you're adding to the thing, right? So you've seen that with Nabil, for example. His vision is like, I want to spread that to other campuses. See that with me, I want to get EDA into like more of a hands-on. I want them to do actual projects. I want them to be actual entrepreneurs. How would you find? What's your vision for EDA?
Okay, my vision is to grow to other campuses, but especially for this year, that's what I said. Like I've done this in real life. I've really launched something at a high scale and then it all collapsed. This is something I don't want to happen. So how I am planning to grow is just how someone even mentioned before, get campus ambassadors across different campuses. So for the first semester, we're just focusing on getting people from other campuses to the event at York. This is my initial vision, but obviously later then I really like how Nabil said that we can register it as a non-profit, and of course we can do it side by side too.
And another thing is that's the whole reason where there's 2 co-presidents, right? Because one co-president, we've tried 1, we've tried 2 wins every time. And that's because, let's say one person is focused on the logistics side, while the other is focused on more of the vision and what's happening next, what are the bigger steps and so on. So I feel like regardless of what the combination is, I feel like that's what we should focus on. And if you do implement this thing in the summer, the presidents can focus on bigger and better things, like focus on the growth rather than managing what we already have.
Yeah, like fixing emails or captions.
Fixing emails, fixing captions, what
that
else?
took so much
Oh yeah, it's just a bare
stupid time.
bare
yeah.
stuff.
making slides, presentations.
Yeah, making slides, helping with posters, postering,
Also,
Managing volunteers,
if we're gonna
managing.
have some meetings in the summer, what do you guys plan on doing in Ramadan?
Ramadan
We're
is
gonna meet
break
in Ramadan too.
after that.
break.
Well, Ramadan's earlier.
I don't
too
mind.
Now, this week. Having this.
We can do
So,
phone meetings.
still,
right?
it's in the summer.
We can do phone
Ramadan
meetings.
is May.
Man.
Phone meetings.
Phone
Yeah,
Phone
you
meetings
can do all- you can
don't
do all-
work.
Not
but you
phone,
can
the
do
thing we did
no,
last
no,
time.
Skype,
Zoom.
Guys, Skype at 1 a.m.
Zoom, and you
Yeah.
also sharing screens, and the president goes ahead and goes.
What
to
we did
it
last
that.
We did that.
Or
Yeah,
we can
did a
go
phone
out
meeting.
break our fast together and then.
Oh yeah, okay.
We lost something back.
Question for all 3 of you is just something to think about. Is you guys have seen last time Khalid we were in the room and you said something that didn't offend me or anything. I was just thinking about it a lot because I was our goal of EDA has always been to help entrepreneurs but also help executives develop themselves, right?
Yeah.
And what you said, which I want to actually ask everybody else, is this is just for me to know, is people aren't growing, right? You said that because we're